Hello everyone, this is Deepshikha and you're watching IMS Gets It Law. Today we are discussing landmark judgments from 1950 till 2020. The first case that we are discussing is A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. A.K. Gopalan was a communist leader who was arrested under the Preventive Detention Law. The petitioner challenged certain provisions of the Preventive Detention Act and said that it is violative of Article 13, 19 and 21 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court in this case held that Preventive Detention Act is not violative of any of the fundamental rights mentioned under Part 3 of the Constitution. It said that Article 13, 19 and 21 are mutually exclusive and there is no nexus between the three articles. It and hence held that detention of A.K. Gopalan was done in accordance with the procedure established by law. The second case that we are discussing is Shankari Prasad versus Union of India in 1952. In this case, the first constitutional amendment was challenged on grounds of violating Part 3 of the Constitution or the fundamental rights of the Constitution. The petitioners said that these constitutional amendment violated or disregarded fundamental rights mentioned under Part 3. The Supreme Court in this case held that Article 368 confers power on the Parliament to amend and to incorporate or remove any of the fundamental rights, which means that that Shankari Prasad upheld the judgment of the Supreme Court in A.K. Gopalan versus Union of India. The third case that we are discussing is Golak Nath versus State of Punjab in 1961. In this case, Punjab Securities and Land Tenures Act was enacted by the state government. The Golak Nath was a landowner and he was deprived of keeping his entire land. Only certain sections of his land was allowed to be owned by him. The petitioner here challenged Punjab Securities and Land Tenures Act and said that it violated fundamental right to property. In this case, the issue before the court was that whether the Parliament has a right to revise fundamental rights under Article 368, which was also one of the issues in Shankari Prasad versus Union of India. In this case, the Supreme Court said that Parliament does not have the right to amend fundamental rights and hence deviated from the judgment that was given in A.K. Gopalan and Shankari Prasad. The fourth case that we are discussing is Keshwanand Bharti versus Union of India in 1973. In this judgment, this is a landmark judgment. After three judgments that we have already discussed, this judgment establishes the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution. In this judgment, Land Reform Acts was challenged. The government, according to this act, the government was entitled to acquire some sets of land, which was also included in the 9th schedule. The 9th schedule of the Constitution says that whatever acts or laws which are included in the 9th schedule will not be challenged further in front of the courts, or the judiciary does not have the power to review these acts. The issue before the court was that whether the act that has been enacted by the Parliament, whether it is valid or not, and whether the inclusion of the act in the 9th schedule is valid or not. The Supreme Court said that the Parliament can amend the Constitution to the extent that such amendment does not violate or does not change the basic structure of the Constitution, and hence Land Reform Act was considered to be invalid or unconstitutional. The fifth case that we are discussing is Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. In this case, the election of Indira Gandhi as the Prime Minister of India was nullified by the Allahabad High Court on the grounds of corrupt practices used in the election procedure. Indira Gandhi then appealed to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court was on vacation at that point of time, and that is why there was a conditional stay on the judgment of the Allahabad High Court. Meanwhile, Article 329A was added to the Constitution. According to Article 329A of the 29A, election of the Prime Minister, President and other cabinet ministers is Menaka Gandhi versus Union of India. Menaka Gandhi was a journalist whose passport was confiscated in interest of general public. The question before the court was whether the right to travel abroad is protected under Article 21 of the Constitution. In this case, A.K. Gopalan versus Union of India, which we have already discussed, was overruled and held that there is a unique relationship between Article 14, 19 and 21 of the Constitution, and every law must pass the test of the said provisions, and held that the confiscation of the passport was unconstitutional and the passport should be returned as soon as possible. The next case that we are discussing is Minerva Mills in 1980. There was a Minerva Mill was an industry near Bangalore city. There was a committee established by the central government under the Industrial Disputes Act. On the recommendations of this committee, the central government allowed National Textile Corporation Limited, which was also formed under the Industrial Disputes Act, to take over the management of Minerva Mills. According to the 39th Amendment of the Constitution, nationalization of any company was included in 9th Schedule. 9th Schedule means that it cannot be, it has gone outside the purview of judicial review. It was held by the Supreme Court that the theory of unlimited power to amend the Constitution will alienate democracy and create a totalitarian state, and hence several provisions of the Nationalization Act was struck down and held unconstitutional. The next case that we are discussing is Shaira Banu versus Union of India in 2017. In this case, Talaq-e-Biddat or triple talaq was challenged. Triple talaq is a form of ending the marriage by uttering 3 times talaq, talaq, talaq. The petitioner challenged the Talaq-e-Biddat process or the Talaq-e-Biddat as a practice, and said that it violated Article 14 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court in this case held that Talaq-e-Biddat was in fact violative of Article 14 of the Constitution and disregarded several fundamental rights provided to the citizens under the Constitution. The next case that we are discussing is Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India. In this case, Section 377 of Indian Penal Code was challenged. Section 377 of Indian Penal Code penalizes unnatural offences and included sexual acts among grown-ups done unnaturally. The Supreme Court decriminalized homosexuality in this case and held that sexual acts of grown-ups in private should not be anyone's concern and should not be subject to penalization. I hope you had a good session. We'll meet next time. Thank you.